Imagine a time when workers labored 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, with no safety nets, no minimum wage, no social security, no protections at all. In the middle of this chaos, a quiet, determined woman rose to power and changed the course of American history forever. Her name was Frances Perkins, the first woman ever to serve in a U.S. presidential cabinet, and the architect of laws that still protect millions of Americans today. Frances Perkins was born in 1880 in Boston, Massachusetts. Raised with strong values of service, she developed deep compassion for those less fortunate. In her early 20s, she visited poor neighborhoods in Chicago and Philadelphia, witnessing firsthand the brutal conditions of American workers at the turn of the century. One event would change her life forever: the 1911 Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire. Frances watched in horror as 146 garment workers, mostly young immigrant women, died because factory doors were locked. That tragedy ignited a fire in Frances's heart. She would dedicate her life to protecting working people. Frances began working for social reform groups, fighting for fire safety codes, factory inspections, and workers' compensation. Her sharp mind and calm leadership quickly earned respect. In 1929, Governor Franklin D. Roosevelt appointed her as New York's Industrial Commissioner. Frances became a trusted advisor, pushing for unemployment insurance and better working conditions. She was a rare woman in a man's world, but her quiet strength was undeniable. In 1933, during the depths of the Great Depression, Franklin D. Roosevelt became president, and he asked Frances Perkins to join his cabinet as Secretary of Labor. She hesitated, knowing it would be a brutal fight, but she accepted on one condition: Roosevelt had to support her bold vision for change. Frances became the first female cabinet member in U.S. history. In a time when women rarely held leadership positions, she stepped into one of the most powerful roles in government and never looked back. Frances Perkins became the driving force behind Roosevelt's New Deal programs. She championed groundbreaking reforms that still shape our lives today: Social Security, unemployment insurance, child labor laws, a 40-hour work week, and a federal minimum wage. These weren't just policies. They were lifelines for millions of families struggling during America's darkest economic hour. Frances believed government had a duty to protect its workers, and she turned that belief into law. Frances Perkins served as Secretary of Labor for 12 years, longer than any other person in history. She quietly reshaped America, proving that leadership is about action, not fame. Her reforms built the foundation of the modern social safety net and secured dignity for generations of American workers. She passed away in 1965, but every paycheck, every retirement check, every worker's right to a safe job carries her legacy. The people are what matter to government, and a government should aim to give all the people under its jurisdiction the best possible life. Frances Perkins wasn't just the first woman in the cabinet. She was the quiet architect of justice for the working class. She didn't seek glory. She built a nation.